Hi, hi, friends. Well, me and my cat Schmutz are here to. Oh, maybe you can hear my cat purring in my microphone. Well, welcome back. It's another day of martial arts class here at my house, and you can tell it's my house because I'm holding a cat. I mean, I would never hold a cat at the karate school. So for those of you who are coming on live or watching this after the fact, I'll be waiting around for a few moments for some of my friends to come on live to watch. In the meantime, if you want to skip ahead to where we bow in, feel free to do that. Otherwise, welcome. I'm here with Schmutz, the cat, to teach you about movement today. If you've been in my classes last week, you may remember that we talked a little bit about combinations, right? Putting things together, putting our moves together to make combinations. Well, the moves that we do are martial arts moves, right? Karate moves. But those are the only reason we do moves, right? You don't just do moves to do karate. Bye, Schmutz. We do moves for lots of reasons. We move our bodies to go from here to there, right? To pick things up, to put them down, to do the things that we want to do. And every time you move, you're probably moving for a reason. Now, if you're thinking like a martial artist, you might be thinking that the moves you do, or the reason you do the moves we do, is to punch or kick or somehow or another hurt another person. But that's really not the only reason. That is a reason, but that's not the only reason. I move because it's fun. I like to move because it's good exercise. It makes my body healthy. So I can do all kinds of moves to have fun and get healthy. I like to do it with karate moves, but I also do other exercise too. And I want to help you learn to do the same thing. Hi, Stephanie. So, we're here to move, and more important, we're here to learn about moving and how to do it better. You have to think about all the different moves that you do during the day to do anything. In this morning's class, I talked about brushing your teeth. I mean, you probably have a very certain way to hold the toothbrush and to put it in your mouth and move it around to brush your teeth. Maybe you go up and down, maybe you make circles, but you probably hold the toothbrush something like this, right? And you move it around. Well, could you imagine other ways to try to hold a toothbrush and brush your teeth? Or how about brushing your hair? Or how about bending down to pick up something heavy? Could you imagine lots of ways that you could do that, but could some of those ways be better than others? That's what I mean by studying how we move. When you are going to do something, you should probably try to do it in a way that works really well and not do it in a way that doesn't work so well. You wouldn't want to do it in a way that doesn't work well on purpose. Unless maybe you were trying to be funny. So, we'll give some other people another minute or two to join. We'll talk a little bit about moving today. Think about all the different ways your body moves. What are the moves that we do in class? Well, we stand in certain ways, and then we also move our feet in certain ways, right? We can lift our legs in different directions to make different kicks. We can move our arms. We can put our arms and legs and other parts of our body together to make even bigger and more powerful moves. Think about the things that we do in class. Basics, punching and kicking and blocking. Combinations and self-defense techniques, like we worked on last week. And then we have our forms, which are really long moves. So we can look at all of those and study how we move in them. For now, let's bow in. Can you show me front position? You say knowledge in the mind, Honesty in the heart, strength in the body, and bow. Okay, since I know Stephanie's watching, and she's been working on 2 pinion, I want to make sure that we use that as part of the moves that we do. So, first let's, as our warm-up, we'll talk about moves, and we'll do some. Now, I'm using moves really to mean everything that your body can do. Not for any particular reason, just anything you can do. You can turn your head, right? You can tilt your head. You can look up and down. So I don't have to do those for any reason. I can just do them if I want to. Now, if I want to look at something, well, there's a reason to do it. If there's a bad guy behind me and I look up really fast and the back of my head bumps into his nose, well, that's a different reason to do this kind of the same move, right? It just looks like looking up. We can take our arms and we can make circles. Go ahead and follow along with me. Circle your arms. Now, am I circling these arms for any particular reason? Well, right now I'm doing it for exercise, to get warm. Could you imagine a reason I might circle my arm as a martial arts move? What if I circle my arms in front of me a little bit and do it with a little power? Right? Those become blocking moves or maybe striking moves. So I'm just moving my body. I can bend my elbows and make them straight, right? What does this look like? Just keep moving, follow me. Looks kind of like a push-up. Well, if I do the push-up move, but my hand's in a fist like this, now it looks like a punch. Same moves, different purpose. Let's twist. Well, what about this? See, when I twist my body, makes my middle loosen up. But also, if while I'm twisting, I let my arms swing out like this. See how the twisting is making my arms move? Well, what does that look like? Yeah, looks like a punch. I can lift my knees up nice and high, right? Go ahead and follow right along. Nice and high, right? Now, what am I doing with this? I'm just picking my feet up to get them warm. What's the martial arts move that's here? Could I hit something with my knee? Could I straighten my leg out and make that into a kick? Yes, of course I can. All right, let's do a little 2 pinion. Stephanie, since you're watching, we can do this together. And I want to go over it a little bit with you just to make sure you know it pretty well. I know you remember it well. But let's make sure we are doing the moves better, that we're studying how we do them. So we can do that with every little part of every move we do. Now, it would be a lot of work to do every single move in 2 pinion, so we could just pick a couple of them, right? So class, anybody who's watching who hasn't learned 2 pinion before, you can follow along with me, because we're just paying attention to how we move our body. Well, you all know when we do a form, we start at front position, we do a bow. Step into a horse stance, right? Remember that, with the knees bent and sink down. Now, remember I said we're thinking about the reason why we move? Well, why are we doing this? What's the point of that? Well, it's always exercise, that's right. It's also kind of a way of, if we imagine something happening, that we're sort of taking a strong stance. Really, when we do forms like this, it's about exercising our legs, practicing our basic moves in a way that's we can memorize. So it makes us practice them more. So we have lots of forms like this, and as you get higher in rank, they get more complicated, right? So anyway, bow, horse stance, and breathe. Okay, so the first move in 2 pinion is to step towards your imaginary attacker over there on your left, right? You're going to your left. So when I turn and look at him, well, how did I get there? I stepped into a certain kind of a stance. What kind of stance is this? Do you remember? When we're doing 1 pinion or 2 pinion, it's called the Halfmoon Stance. Woo! And at the same time, we do a block. So let's just do that move. We'll do it as a workout. Bow, horse stance, step block. And I did that step block with the twist of my body and a swing of my arm. Then I'll step forward, sink down a little, and with my hand turned sideways, remember this? Thrust punch. Okay, now, if you remember last week, I remember talking a bit about push-pull in our combinations, right? Where you have one hand going out and one hand going back. So when I go block, pulled that hand back. When I did the punch, I pulled the other hand back. Make sure they're part of both moves. Let's try going the other way. So now I put my foot behind me, spin around, low block again, step forward, thrust punch. Do it with push-pull, right? Whew. Then we turn down the middle. Step towards me in a half moon stance, low block. All right, now this is different. Step forward, front punch to the nose. Curl your hand in. Use the side of your hand. Aim to the groin, right? Low strike. Try it again. Front punch, reverse hammer, front punch, reverse hammer. Okay, stop right there. Step back. Show me 10 jumping jacks. Nice. All right, shake it out. Let's try that again. 2 pinion. You can do it on your own this time. We'll do it together. Bow. Breathe. Step block. Step. Thrust punch. Turn around. Step block. Step. Thrust punch. Turn and block. Step. Front punch. Reverse hammer. Front punch. Reverse hammer. Front punch. Reverse hammer. And then stop. Now, if you know all the 2 pinion, I know you know more of it. But right now, I just want you to think about how you were moving when you do a front punch and do the reverse hammer. Did you just kind of drop your hand without a lot of strength, or did you try to hit with some power? Did you go fast or did you go slow? Which one should you do? You have to think about all those questions when you're doing your karate training. All right, let's take a break from 2 pinion. So think about moving your body. What we did in our warm-up, we kind of started from the top and worked our way down. Went from the head down to the legs. So for any move you do, you are moving your arms and legs and body in combinations in certain ways. So let's take one move, like the side kick. What are the certain ways I move when I do a side kick? Well, I have to lift my knee up in a good flamingo. I have to have pretty good balance. I actually have to tilt my body a little bit to lift my leg into the right position to do a side kick. So let's see you do those moves. You turn your foot a little bit, the one I'm going to stand on. I lift my knee up, and then I'm going to tilt into position. I'm not going to hold that. I'm going to load it up to do a side kick. Put it back down. So let's see if you can do that. Now, if you find yourself losing balance a little bit, it's okay to put a hand on something and try to balance. I'm going to do it without it today, but you're free to do it yourself. So when I say go, you're just going to pull your leg up into that position like you're doing the side kick. And we're going to hold it there for a moment. Okay, ready? Go. So I've just got my knee up. Now, in real life, if I was throwing a side kick, I wouldn't stop there. We're only doing this to practice teaching our body to get into the right position. Because when you really do the side kick, your leg doesn't stop and then side kick. You'll really do it all as one move like that. See that? So the knee comes up, my body tilts, and I'm already pushing the side kick out. And you can do it slow, just like I did, and then get faster as you go along. But right now, I just want to see that you can get your leg in that position. The knee comes up and in, your body tilts, and you can hold your balance so you can push that leg out into a side kick and then put it back down. Got it? Let's try it 5 times. Just holding your leg up. Go. I'm stopping right there. Okay, go. Just think about all the things that are part of that. Go. I've got a bend at my hip. Go. I've got a bend at my knee. Go. I've actually got to pull my toes back like that. All 3 of those things are happening to my leg while I'm moving through the side kick. Did you do it all? Remember, it's okay to lean on something too. I got to lean on the wall back here. So when I get up like this, I can kind of practice getting it in the right position. Is my hip bent? Is my knee bent? Is my foot pulled back? Let's try the other leg. This is the side, if you remember me saying last week, in other classes, right? One side sometimes is better than the other. It's like that for me. This is the side that's not as good, but I'm going to practice it anyway. Ready? Go. Oh, there we go. Got it up. A little more wobbly. Go. Oh, get that knee up there. Tilt your body. Go. I'm just practicing the move, getting ready. Go. Yep. Feels good. One more time. Go. Feels all right. I can kind of hold that for a minute. My balance felt pretty good. How did you feel? All right. Remember, practicing karate, kempo, judo, jiu-jitsu, any martial art is studying how your body moves and then trying to figure out how to move in the best way you can to do the right job. Remember the fighting moves we're doing? Well, we might only use them to do the job of fighting against another person. But like I said at the beginning of class, we can do all these moves for other reasons, sometimes just because they're fun. All right, let's see. Get in your guarding stance. Face me. All right, so let's try something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the picture. So I might be over here, out of the picture. I know you can hear me. And then I'll jump into the picture like this, and I'll pop in. So here's what you do. Anytime I pop into the picture, you're in your guarding stance. You're going to do your side kick, just like we started, right? But I want to see you go through all the moves that we practiced, right? Pick the knee up, get in position, and then kick out. You don't have to try to kick me or anything. Please don't. And don't try to do your kick fast. Just do it correctly. All right, here we go. Ready? I'm going to start off camera. So if you see me in the shot, you are going to do your kick. Are you ready? Ho, hi-ya! Good. Hey! Hi-up! Aha. Did you do your kick? Ho! If I try to sneak in. Watch out. Don't kick me in the nose. All right, pretty good. Well, come on in, Stephanie, if it's... I know you're watching. Other friends who are watching class. Before we finish, remember one thing, after class today on Mondays at 4, I'll be doing another story time. So I'll be coming on at about 4:45 to read a story. This week in class, I've been talking about intuition. Remember that word, intuition? So last week we talked a little bit about intuition as a feeling that you have about some situation you're in or about a person that's near you. Basically, it's the feeling either that something's not right about what's going on, or maybe the opposite, that something's actually, I feel pretty good. Maybe when you meet a new person for the first time. Hi, Schmutz. Here's my kitty cat. I feel pretty good, like my kitty cat wants some petting. That's what my intuition tells me. And the fact that she's rubbing her head on my hand. But when your intuition tells you something, well, you have to know why it's telling you that. And one of the things you can learn is how to make your intuition smarter. So having a good intuition means that you have a feeling about a situation and you listen to it. So if like we said last week, you have a feeling that something's not right and you're kind of in doubt, you get out. Well, this week, we're talking about something called setting boundaries, right? So, for example, here's my cat, right? My cat wants to climb on me. Now, I like my cat to climb on me. She's my kitty cat. I like to pet her and give her hugs and everything like that. But let's imagine I didn't want my cat to climb on me. And she's coming up and she's saying, hey, pick me up and pet me. And I say, no, thank you. That's called setting a boundary. So you can imagine, instead of being a cat that's trying to climb on me, it's a person or something scary that's coming at me. And then I'm going to say, no thank you. Although I won't say no thank you. I might say, back off. So setting boundaries is a way to teach your intuition what, thank you, Schmutz, what's right and what's wrong. If you set boundaries, then after a while, you'll kind of know when someone's not honoring your boundaries. If you say, hey, give me some space, and a person won't give you space, well, you'll have a bad feeling about that, right? All right, class, let's finish up here. I'm going to bow out, and then I'll be back a little bit later for story time. Practice your moves, and practice lots of different moves, not just because they're karate moves and because they'll earn you belts and because you'll be able to punch and kick. No, but because they're fun and they're good for you. All right, class, front position. Knowledge in the mind, honesty in the heart, strength in the body, and bow. I'll see you all again soon for story time. I hope you're ready, and have a great day.